Racer's Edge Tuning in Downey to get a dyno session to baseline the car to see how much power it makes, because after those races, I'm really curious to see how much power this car makes. They're baselining around 680 wheel horsepower, so we'll see if the car makes that or more. Regardless, I wanted to get a baseline on the car because I'm going to be dropping it off this week to SpeedWorx Automotive. We're going to be doing some bolt-ons on the car, so I wanted to get a baseline to see how much power the car makes before and after with the mods. A lot of my homies want to see what the car makes as well. They're really curious after seeing those runs too. They're guessing it's going to make 700 wheel horsepower, but we'll see. All right guys, we just got here. We're gonna get some baselines and see what the car makes. Alright guys, we made 676 wheel horsepower and 535 wheel torque. Alright guys, we just got done at the dyno shop. The car put down 676 wheel horsepower and 535 pound-feet of torque. So that's about what all the Shelbys are making, so there's nothing special about it. It's pretty much running what the factory numbers are claiming. So once again, I want to give a huge shout out to Greg at Racer's Edge Tuning for baselining my car. I really appreciate it. We're headed to SpeedWorx Automotive after the dyno, and the dyno went well. The car made what I expected. I'm happy with the dyno results. We're headed to SpeedWorx Automotive now to start modifying the car. The reason why I wanted to get a baseline is so I can see what the car made off of the modifications that I'm doing. I want to do the car in phases, so for this phase, I'm going to be doing the JLT cold air intake, ID 1300 injectors, Division X fuel rails, 2.65 pulley, and Kooks long tube headers with no cats. The reason why I'm doing the 265 pulley instead of anything smaller for this first time around is because the stock intercooler brake that's on the car can't keep up at that power level and that amount of boost. Once you drop down lower, you're going to need to do the Whipple intercooler brake, or VMP makes one also, and also the manifold, because the car just can't keep up with that amount of heat. It can't cool the car, so you're going to be running into heat soak all the time. I didn't want to go and do the full out build right now. I wanted to do the car in stages. The car with those mods should make 900 plus wheel horsepower. From there, I want to enjoy the car, get some racing content in, maximize content with that power level, and then from there we're going to go ahead and do the Kong ported blower, Kong throttle body, and drop down to a 2.4 pulley, and then upgrade the cooling, which is the intercooler brake and the manifold. I'm going to do the intercooler brake by Whipple and the manifold cooler by Whipple as well. So the car should run really well. It should make over 1,000 wheel horsepower, and depending on where we're at from there, I want to do the Palm Beach dyno lid and possibly some nitrous so that we can make the 1,200 wheel horsepower mark. Once we hit the 1,200 wheel horsepower mark, I need to upgrade the suspension. I need to do BMR suspension modifications because I'm going to be dragging the car. This car is going to be pretty much set up for drag racing. I'm going to have to upgrade the clutches, and I'm going to have a B-Lac drag pack with the skinny up front, and I'm not taking off the brakes. I'm leaving those stock brakes. I'm not doing a 15-inch conversion. I'm going to run an 18-inch all around. So I'm excited for this build, man. This car is going to be it's going to be insane. It's going to be a monster. It already is fast as it is, so I could only imagine when I modify the car. Today we're only going to be installing the headers because the other parts haven't came in. Those parts should be coming in sometime next week, so I'm going to get the header installed today. The car is going to sound so good with these headers. I love the way the stock mufflers sound. I'm probably not going to change them. They crackle, they pop, and they're just an efficient muffler, man. I doubt any aftermarket company can make a better muffler than the Ford development team. They spend a lot of money, a lot of research hours developing these mufflers for these cars. So I doubt there's going to be an aftermarket exhaust that is going to be able to flow better and to be able to perform better than what these do. And even if there are, man, I'm not going to spend $3,000 on an exhaust that I don't even need when these do the job just as well. You know what I mean? So I'm going to run the Kooks long tube headers with no cats and the stock exhaust. I might do the Lethal Performance resonator delete, which is the X pipe. So I might do that if the car's not loud enough, but it's gonna be loud. I've heard some online and they sound amazing, man. They sound insane. I haven't heard one in person, so I'm really interested to see how the car sounds in person with the headers. And if it's not loud enough and I still want the car louder, I'll do the Lethal Performance resonator delete X pipe. All right, we just pulled up to SpeedWorx Automotive. Gonna start the header install on the Shelby. This is Benny.
Yo, what's up?
He's the owner of SpeedWorx Automotive. And in my opinion, man, best shop in SoCal. I know there's a lot of dope shops here, and no disrespect to all the other shops, but in my personal opinion, I think this is the best shop for any of your Ford stuff, Mopar, LS, or LT. Car's all melted and ready to go up on the lift. Got the headers out. Bro, these headers are sick, man. Kooks did an amazing job on the quality. Look at this stamp. Kooks header stamp with the Cobra right here. These are some sick headers. All stock, man. Everybody I've raced who keeps wondering if I'm modded, all stock. Stock pulley, stock intake, on 91, stock everything. Benny, have you worked on my car, bro? Is this thing modded?
Not yet.
When the car was on the lift and we had it lifted up, it was pretty straightforward to take off the cats and some of the piping, but to get through to the headers, we were having some difficulty with that. We had to, there's a shield that goes right here in this area that we had to take off. We had to remove the battery and the strut tower so that we can get access to the headers right here. So it's a little bit tricky to get them off through the inside. But we're moving along. How's the header install from these compared to a regular Coyote, bro? Is it different?
A little, not too different, but it's, you know, it has its own little things. Like we had to take the whole strut brace off, was in the way to get to this panel here to get this side of the catalytic converter off. We're gonna start pulling the mounts out and start pulling off the stock headers and go from there. So far, you know, so far so good. I mean, it just had that big brace that was, you know,
yeah.
It required us to take off the windshield wipers and, you know, remove the some of the cowl paneling.
And the other side, the other side's chilling, right?
The other side's chilling, yeah.
You can take that off from the bottom, you said?
Usually I can get the headers from the bottom. Sometimes I gotta get some of them from the top. But we'll see how it comes out right now.
So we're on the underside of the car right now. We're just about taking off the cats. So what's going on here, bro?
Nothing much, just pulling off the headers. We'll move the mount. We're supporting the motor with the trans stack and a screw jack. So we're gonna do one side at a time. I'm gonna knock the side out and bring it down. Try not to take the alternator off. The other side, most likely I'm gonna have to take the AC off.
Gotta take the AC off
just
on
like
this
the
side.
Coyotes, yeah. So and we'll go from there. We'll see how it turns out.
Nice.
See how the fitments around the steering shaft is.
We just got the driver's side header off, and Benny noticed something that I didn't even know. I'm not sure if you guys knew, but these heads come ported from the factory. So I'm not sure if the camera could catch it very good, but you can see the CNC porting groove right here. 2020 GT500s come with the ported heads. This is the stock header right here. Check it out compared to the Kooks aftermarket header. This is a 2-inch primary. Huge difference, man. These are gonna flow so good. It's gonna sound insane. Driver's side headers in, and you could actually see the stamping with the Cobra on it. It's a pretty badass feature. That's sick detail from Kooks. All right, guys, we just finished the header install. We just got to drop down the car and install some parts back on that we had to take off. But fitment is clean on these headers. We're about to start it up right now and see how it sounds. What do you think, bro? How does it sound?
It sounds good, dude.
Sounds mean?
It sounds mean.
This thing sounds so sick, man. We can't do any pulls yet because the car needs to be tuned. I don't want to do pulls on it without the tune, so we'll make another video with sound clips and getting on the car pretty hard and doing some pulls in it with the header so you guys can hear it better. All right, guys, it's the next day after the install. That install was tough. We finished really late, so I wanted to wait till the next day so we can do some sound clips for better lighting, and that way you guys can see the car better. The car's not tuned. It needs to get tuned because when you do headers, it does allow more airflow, so you are messing up the air to fuel ratios on the car, so it needs to get tuned to clean up the air to fuel ratios. I can't get on the car too hard, but I'll work with what we got and I'll get some good sound clips. That way you guys can hear the way the car sounds with the headers. How it sounds in quiet mode. I'm in quiet mode right now and you can't even hear the exhaust. This car sounds crazy in track mode, and it's calm and tame in quiet mode. This is quiet mode right here. Can't even hear the exhaust. All right, I just got back from getting some sound clips and the car sounds amazing, man. It sounds so damn good. And that's with me not even being able to get wide open throttle on it. Like I said, the car needs a tune, so I can't get wide open throttle on the car, but once it gets tuned, I will get some wide open throttle pulls. I'm looking forward to hearing how the car sounds at wide open throttle. Right now, it sounds insane. Kooks really knocked it out of the park with quality, their fitment, the sound of these headers. It's a really high quality product. I know you guys were going to be curious to hear how it sounded in quiet mode with the headers, so I went ahead and did some clips with the exhaust in quiet mode. It sounds like a stock car, so if you want to be stealth and you don't want the car to be loud, you want to be low profile, you pop it into quiet mode and it sounds very quiet. You're not going to get a lot of attention, and there's no drone. You hear absolutely nothing. It just sounds, you know, dead silent. Especially if you have the AC on, the windows up, and you're listening to music, you won't hear exhaust note at all. And from the outside, it's not loud at all either. Unless you get on the car when you're in quiet mode and you rev it a little high, you will hear some exhaust note, and it is a little bit louder than stock. And oh man, it's very versatile. You pop it into track mode and you're gonna get a loud, aggressive sound. And when I say loud and aggressive, it still sounds very, very clean. It sounds super exotic. It does not sound like a muscle car. It doesn't sound like a Mustang. It sounds very, very exotic. It sounds clean though. It sounds very clean. So if you want to have it in track mode and have the exhaust loud, you pop it in a track mode and it sounds loud and aggressive. But if you want to be low profile, you pop it in a quiet mode and you get by the cops. You're stealth, you don't bother your neighbors, and it's comfortable, man. You could daily drive it and it's not going to be annoying. That's going to wrap up this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.